You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, November 21st, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Wednesday. First thing to know is Wall Street is set for a pre-Thanksgiving Day bounce. U.S. stock futures pointed to a higher open, with battered tech stocks set to claw back some of their sharp losses as investors geared up for the Thanksgiving holiday. Trade was expected to be traditionally thin, with Wall Street closed on Thursday, and Friday will be a half session. Second thing to know today is Deere earnings are coming out. Deere is one of the last notable names slated to report third quarter results before U.S. markets open as the earnings season continues to wind down. The farm equipment maker is expected to post a profit of $2.44 per share on sales of about $8.61 billion, according to estimates. The company's results will also give investors a glimpse of how much the trade war with China is affecting the U.S. agriculture sector, especially soybeans, where China is a huge market. Our third thing to know today is oil prices rebound. In commodities, oil prices bounced nearly 2% to claw back some of the previous day's steep decline. And it's lifted by a report of an unexpected decline in U.S. commercial crude inventories. After markets closed Tuesday, the American Petroleum Institute said that U.S. crude supplies fell unexpectedly by 1.5 million barrels last week. If confirmed by the U.S. Energy Information Administration later in the day, it would be the first weekly drop in domestic crude supplies in 10 weeks. The EIA's report is due at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were up $1.02, or roughly 1.9% at $54.45 a barrel. It tumbled 6.6% on Tuesday to settle at a more than one-year low of $53.43. International Brent crude oil futures rose $1.02 or 1.6% to $63.55 per barrel, following a plunge of more than 6% a day earlier. Our fourth thing to know today is there's a pre-holiday data dump. On the data front, the Commerce Department at 8:30 a.m. is expected to report durable goods orders fell 2.2% in October. Core orders, which exclude volatile transportation items, are forecast to rise 0.4%. Focus will also likely be on October existing home sales out at 10 a.m. Eastern. Recent data has painted a worrying picture of the U.S. housing market, which is struggling with rising mortgage rates and tight inventory. Wednesday's economic calendar also features data on initial jobless claims. which comes out one day ahead of its normal release time due to the Thanksgiving holiday, and revised Michigan consumer sentiment for November. The U.S. dollar index, which measures the greenback strength against a basket of 6 major currencies, was a shade lower at 96.65. In the bond market, U.S. Treasury prices edged lower, pushing yields higher across the curve, with the benchmark 10-year yield rising to 3.08%. Fifth thing to note today is OECD lowers global growth forecast. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development forecast that global growth would slow from 3.7% this year to 3.5% in 2019 and 2020. This is as trade tensions and higher interest rates take their toll. Though at the source of the current tensions, the U.S. economy was expected to fare better than most other major economies, albeit because of costly fiscal stimulus. Our second story today is from CNBC.com. Mortgage refinance applications hit an 18-year low. With no major move in interest rates and continued weakness in home affordability, there was not a lot of incentive for home buyers to make a move last week, and there's even less for homeowners looking to save money on their mortgages. Total mortgage application volume moved 0.1% lower last week from the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association's seasonally adjusted index. Volume was 22% lower than a year ago. The average contract interest rate for 30-year fixed-rate mortgages with conforming loan balances decreased to 5.16% from 5.17%, with points decreasing from 0.48 from 0.55. That's including the origination fee for loans with 20% down payments. Our final story today is from Investing.com. U.S. jobless claims rise to highest since the end of June. The number of people who filed for unemployment assistance in the U.S. rose unexpectedly last week, hitting their highest level since the end of June. The U.S. Department of Labor said that the number of individuals applying for initial jobless benefits in the 7 days ended November 17th increased by 3,000 to a seasonally adjusted 224,000 from the previous week's upwardly revised total of 221,000. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Newsweek News for today, Wednesday, November 21st, 2018, your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart, and have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.